everybody. Let's get into it. You kicking it with KCMC, 10 plus years in radio and more. Let's go. So we talking about NBA YoungBoy basically saying he's not into being a father. He's not into the whole fatherhood thing. I'm gonna tell you why I slightly agree with what he was saying or what he meant exactly. Then we also talking about this whole situation with the Oklahoma lawmakers looking to get the 10 Commandments inside the schools and make it a requirement. I partially agree with it. Let's talk about all that, some movies we saw, and sports. That's coming up. You kicking it with KC, baby. We're going to start off with popular topics, pop tops that may or may not be talked about in the news. Yours truly, KCMC. This first story is coming from hotnewhiphop.com. In a recent interview with Bootleg Kev, NBA YoungBoy recently expressed his disinterest in parenting despite being a father of 11. When asked about fatherhood's importance, he admitted, quote, "I'm not really big on it, to be honest," end quote. This candid admission received backlash from fans. One user criticized his stance, blaming those who support his music, while another pointed out that NBA YoungBoy might not feel accountable given the fact that he lacks consequences and a readiness for some women to have children with him despite his views on parenting. Very, very big. I watched the interview. He's sitting in the living room. One of his kids is on his lap. Bootleg Kev said, "You look like a great father. You got your kids right here." And he was basically saying, listen, I'm in these four, I'm on house arrest. I have nowhere to go. I can only be in my house and my kids gonna be here. So this is what I'm dealing with. This is the nature of the situation. He says he's not into, what did he say? "I'm not really big on fatherhood, to be honest." Now, while that does sound bad, here's what I think he meant. This is what I took from it, at least. I'm not going to say what I think he meant. Here's what I took from it. He's saying, as a man, it's your job to get out of the house. Go hunt. Go get the money and bring it back to the household so that your family is taken care of. The woman, the matriarch of the family, she takes care of everything on the inside based off what you bring as a provider, as the man. He's not used to being in the house. He's used to being out. So what he's saying is, I'm pretty sure he loves his kids, but he's saying, listen, I'm just not used to being in the house and being around my kids all day. As a man, I'm not a nurturer. I'm a provider and a protector. The woman is the nurturer, so I'm not used to this. That's what I took from what he's saying, and I wholeheartedly agree. Especially while a child is young and trying to come of age and just learn the basics of life and getting things together. I think the woman should be there nurturing him and getting him together, and him or her. And then at a certain age, the father should step in and then take the son with him or show the daughter what a man's supposed to be. So I kind of agree with NBA YoungBoy, but let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments, call to the show, 313-466-4386. We also talking about this other topic. Oklahoma, they lawmakers out there, some would say that they are wilding. This is coming from KOSU.com, KOSU.org, excuse me. House Bill 2962 in Oklahoma proposes that every public school classroom display the 10 Commandments and allows private donations for such posters. The bill, introduced by Rolling Republican Representative Jim Olson, draws from recommendations by a committee of faith leaders, but notably represents solely Christian perspectives. State Superintendent Ryan Walters defended the bill, citing historical practices in school and emphasizing the role of 10 Commandments in shaping morality. Walters acknowledged the likelihood of legal challenges if the bill passes, citing concerns about the breakdown of discipline due to the absence of such guidelines. Democratic lawmakers, however, criticized the bill, seeing it as dangerous and unconstitutional, as it could potentially endorse a state-sponsored religion. Despite the debates and criticisms, the legislative session for this bill commences on February 5th, which is a Monday if I'm not mistaken. Sounds crazy. If the school, the public school, which is government funded, government backed, state funded and backed, is backing a certain religion's guidelines in all classrooms, is basically saying that the state officially sponsors Christianity. This is our official religion of this state. Like a state bird or something like that. It doesn't feel right for other people who live in that state and who are of different religions or feel like they came to America to have freedom of religion. So it's kind of a battle right there. But what I will say is, I kind of agree with it. What's wrong with the 10 Commandments? I don't even necessarily consider myself a Christian. I was raised Christian. But what are the 10 commandments? Acknowledge God and worship only him. Avoid worshiping physical representations as substitutes for God. Respect and honor God's name, avoiding using it disrespectfully. Set aside a day for rest, worship, and reflection, honoring and dedicating it to God. Honor your father and mother. You should not murder. Avoid infidelity in marriage. You should not steal. Be truthful and refrain from lying about others, and avoid desiring or being envious of what belongs to others. Now, what is wrong with teaching those principles to a child? There's a few of them I don't necessarily agree with. First, the second one, I think, don't look at yourself as an idol. That's how I kind of translated it a little bit. Now, don't worship anything else or anybody else. But I look at myself as a God. So maybe you can look at yourself as a God and see it like that. You know, but other than that, I'm not mad at that. Even if it's not Christianity, let's say Kwanzaa. The 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Ujoma, unity. Kujichagulia, self-determination. Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Ujama, cooperative economics. Nia, purpose. Kumba, creativity. Imani, faith. You can post those up in the classroom. I'll be like, all right, that's pretty cool. It's teaching kids good principles. So with it being basic principles of morality and treating others good and not harming others and being jealous, I'm with that. But the fact of a government backing a certain religion, it sounds weird, but I'm not against the whole 10 commandments being in the classroom. But let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show, 313-466-4386. We about to switch it up. We got more to talk about. Yeah. So we're going to talk about movies that we recently saw on Corn Stream. Nah, I mean, we saw this one movie. It's called Society of the Snow. This is on Netflix. No endorsement. 2 hours and 24. Was this 2 hours and 24? 2 hours and 24 minutes. Man, that's crazy. The flight of a rugby team crashes on a glacier in the Andes. The few passengers who do survive the crash find themselves in one of the world's toughest environments to survive. So this is all like a Spanish-speaking, if I'm not mistaken, movie for the most part. So it's translated into English. They were traveling to Chile, but then their plane went through some mountains, crashed, and they were stuck in some blistering cold snow, man, for 72 days from, I believe, October 12th to December 22nd or something like that, 1972. Very interesting movie, by the way. It's like Final Destination, but in real life. But on a glacier. on a nice ice mountain. But anyway, nonetheless, there's a few things that I took away from this. Very interesting, based on true events. But in this movie, I don't know how true it is. Probably fake, but in this movie, I didn't see not one person wear a hat or have a hat on. Now, maybe they were traveling from one hot place to another. I imagine so. But with that being said, throughout this movie, I didn't even see one person attempt to wrap their head up as a hat. I think one person did towards the end, but by that time, this white boy had his hair wrapped up in a t-shirt, but took his t-shirt off. So it was like, y'all in the mountains with the snow. So that was kind of weird to me. Other than that, it was one guy that just had an endless supply of cigarettes. They got hungry. They didn't have any food, so they start eating actual people who died. It was crazy. It made you think, what would you do in situations like that? You don't know what you would do. Because we had people debating both sides. Should I eat my friends? Should we not? After a while, everybody found it to be normal. So it was very crazy to see that what they had to go through and the fact that they survived. It's a true story from what I believe. But Society of the Snow, very long as hell, but I think it's a pretty good movie. I definitely highly recommend. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show, 313-466-4386. Do have another movie that I checked out, if you don't mind us talking about it real quick. This was his Only Son on Amazon Prime. No endorsement. Hour 42 minutes. This was a historical drama. It talks about one of the most controversial moments in the Old Testament of the Bible, when Abraham was commanded by God to sacrifice his son Isaac on the mountain of Moriah while traveling with Isaac and 2 servants, Abraham is flooded with vivid memories from the years of he and Sarah spent longing for the son that they promised, and the son he must now lay upon the altar and sacrifice. Now, once again, like I said, I was raised Christian. I don't consider myself a Christian. I don't know the Bible back and forth. But I heard of this story. So I was like, when I saw this, I said, let me check this out. Now, I know a lot of parts were dramatized or dramatized, whatever you want to call it. It was made for the movies, but nonetheless, I'm thinking, like, how much of this is true? How much of this really happened? Was this really said? Or are they really adding a lot more drama to this just to make it a movie? Nonetheless, it's crazy how much the lengths people will go to or go through because they feel like God is telling them this. How do you know you just not on some goofy shit sometimes? How do you know people just not on some goofy shit? That's what I'm saying. It was a lot of times Abraham's wife was like, bro, you talking about God promising you this and that? He ain't promised me nothing. Everything coming to you. She old. He talking about he want to have kids. She too old to have kids. She offered her maid to him to have sex. He had sex with her, have a kid, and then all of a sudden, she mad. You gave her to me. But then he goofy because it was crazy. I'm like, did this really happen in the Bible? This is some Tyler Perry stuff right here, man. And this man acting holier than thou, like, and then running around telling people I saw God. God told me to do this. Rightfully so, some people in there like, bro, all right, how we supposed to believe you really talking to God, bro? Like, for real. It was rightfully so. I get it, because I would be the same way. But then when you find out this nigga is really with God, you be like, okay, you really look stupid. You look like the devil. So it was a very interesting movie, especially for somebody who knows a little bit about the Bible, but not too much for it to visually be out there like that. I would recommend it. His Only Son on Amazon Prime. Let me know what you think if you did see this. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Let's switch it up, man. We're going to talk about sports, baby. Hi. From the stands of a sports fan, my man, Pots and Pants. All right, so first and foremost, on the NBA tip, Sunday evening, just this recent Sunday that passed, if I'm not mistaken, that was Sunday the 7th of January. Memphis Grizzlies defeated the Phoenix Suns by a score of 121-115, the Suns that we talked about. However, Ja Morant he was out due to a shoulder injury. Turns out the Grizzlies announced he's going to be out for the remainder of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Undergoing season-ending shoulder surgery. Now, this is very, very unfortunate considering the fact he was already out 25 games to start the season. I think he only played 9-10 games this season. So it was very unfortunate for Memphis fans, for Ja Morant fans. I mean, the team technically plays pretty decent without him, or at least they have in the previous years. They ain't playing too good without him this season, I will say. They still lost some games with him, but, you know, it's just different. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, man. It's unfortunate as somebody who likes to see Ja Morant play. So that's unfortunate. But let me know what you think about Memphis, about the NBA in general, all that other stuff. Nothing too impressive going on with the NBA. Keeping it moving, though, with the NFL playoffs are officially starting. This weekend coming up, man. The weekend of the 12th, 13th, if I'm not mistaken, of January. Wild card weekend is what they call it. We got the Browns versus the Texans, Dolphins versus Chiefs, Steelers versus Bills, Packers versus Cowboys, Eagles versus Buccaneers, and my Lions, versus the Rams. All right, first off, predictions. Texans and the Browns. CJ Stroud is showing out with the Texans. The Browns doing pretty decent with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco got a lot more experience. I want to give it to C.J. Stroud, but Joe Flacco with the experience might cook the young boy C.J. Stroud. So I'm gonna go with the Browns actually on that. Chiefs versus Dolphins. I think the Dolphins gonna get showed up. Chiefs gonna get past them. Steelers versus Bills. I think this is going to be a very good game. Although I want Mike Tomlin and the Steelers to win. I think the Bills gonna pull. I think the Steelers gonna upset. I'm going to say that. Steelers going to upset. Packers versus Cowboys. I don't like the Packers. I don't like the Cowboys. But I'll take the Cowboys losing because I don't like the Cowboys at all. I'll take the Cowboys losing. Deflate that early. Eagles versus Buccaneers. I'm riding with the Eagles. I like Jalen Hurts. And then my Lions versus the Rams. The Lions meeting with former quarterback Matthew Stafford for the first time in the playoffs. And it's at Ford Field. I need us to win this game. I need us to beat Matthew Stafford. I need us to stump a mud hole in this dude. I think there should be a rule, no Matthew Stafford Lions jerseys allowed in the stadium. If you wear it, you should be kicked out or immediately get your money back. Because you was a sucker for real. He's with the ops now. He done went there, got his little funky ass little championship. All right, we about to show him that we the Lions and we better without you, bro. That's what I'm on right now. So anyway, Lions beating the Rams. And even if the Packers beat the Cowboys, the Cowboys beat the Packers, I want the Lions to get a chance to beat the Cowboys again. That's what I really need. But anyway, those are my predictions. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show 313-466-4386. Ain't nothing too much crazy to talk about, so we about to go ahead and get up out of here if you don't mind. Keeping it simple, baby. But thinking out loud real quick. It's just so crazy how y'all follow the trends on social media. I saw so many people in the Metro Detroit area taking pictures during the holidays with the same Christmas background at the same photography studio. I said, bro, are you serious? Like, even if you gonna go there, y'all ain't picking a different color scheme, bringing your own decorations, asking them to just switch it up completely. Everybody had the same photography back, and I see this often with photography stuff, restaurants, trends, clothes, spots, all of that. Y'all just be following the crowd. And it's just crazy, man. It's just, from an outside looking in, I love to see it because I'm the type of person that like to control the wave and watch y'all ride it. Pause. But let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show 313-466-4386. I'm about to get up out of here, man. But do me a favor, kick it with KCMC on all social media at KIWKCMC. That's Kick It with KCMC, just the abbreviations. On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all that. And show some love to my sponsor, Team Elite. They on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Team Elite 313. That's TEAMELITE 313. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And show some love. They on their website too, man. Check out their premium urban-based athleisure wear, or urban wear, I should say. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, tech fleece, jogger sets, varsity sets, hats, and more. It's all on their website, teamelite313.com. Ask your mom, baby. Appreciate you for kicking with KCMC, getting this far in the video. If you got this far in the video, for the free love and support, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the alert so you know we going live. If you really want to show off and show some love, got a couple dollars, donate to the show so we can grow. Got the Cash App right here, so please donate. Other than that, continue to show free love. Stream my single, Juice, Hands and Knees, featuring Techmatic. Link in my description. Also, check out Talk, the other show on creative content media curation. Other than that, man, thank you for kicking it. We up out of here, bro. Hey.